We have covered 3 generations of the Odroid computer on this channel, the H2, H3 and H4 computers. Today we're going to look at the newly launched Odroid H5 computer. You might argue that this is not the best time to launch a new computer, with the current prices for memory, solid state and hard drives being so high. But today we're going to look at what makes this latest generation of Odroid so special. When the H4 Odroid was released, there were 3 different versions of it, but this time there is only one version. As you can plainly see in the H5 version, there is only a single Ethernet port. However, while the H4 had a 2.5 gigabit Ethernet port, the H5 sports no less than a 10 gigabit Ethernet port. The form factor of the motherboard is still 120 by 120 mm, and the CPU heatsink dominates the board. Hiding under this heatsink is an Intel N300 8-core processor. The H4 Ultra Odroid was fitted with an Intel N305 8-core processor, and while the top multi-core processing of the N300 is reported to be 10 to 15% lower than its predecessor, the N305, the N300 on the H5 Odroid does have a TDP of only 7 watts, as opposed to the 15 watts on the N305, making it ideal for low power consumption. But what about storage? The previous generation could host a single M2 NVMe SSD on the underside of the board, utilising 4 PCI lanes, and with an expansion board could host 4 NVMe SSDs, each having a single PCI lane. The H5 has space on its motherboard natively for no less than 4 M2 NVMe SSDs, 3 of which will have 2 PCIe lanes each, and the 4th SSD with 1 PCI lane. As you will see from the motherboard, there are no SATA ports, as this space is now taken by an M2 slot. However, if you have a need for SATA ports, there is an M2 to 6-port SATA board you can purchase, although there appears to be no provision for SATA power. This we set up separately in another video for the H4 series of Odroids. Now we need to discuss memory. Prices for this vital component have risen sharply over recent months, and equipping your computer with a reasonable amount of memory is likely to cost more than the rest of the computer. The H5 Odroid takes a single SODIMM memory module, and according to HardKernel's website, will accept up to 64 GB of DDR5 4800 MTS memory. As with the Odroid H4 Ultra, the H5 is equipped with 3 monitor sockets, 2 display ports and 1 HDMI. We also have 3 USB 2.0 and 1 USB 3.0 ports. And for those of you that find a single 10 gigabit Ethernet port is not quite enough, you can always add a second 10 gigabyte port using one of your M2 slots. So I personally would say that the biggest selling point of this model of Odroid is its flexibility of configuration. I haven't covered everything regarding this new model, but we'll go into more detail in the next video. That's it for today. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching today's video. Please feel free to click on the link in the description below to discover more videos.